Alright, next up we have rootbie versus ChensenExtreme. We're going to have a nod mirror matchup on heavy metal. Let's check it out. So, on the top right we got ChensenExtreme playing as the blue nod, and on the bottom left we've got rootbie playing as the gold nod. Both players moving their con yard a little bit. This will enable them to get better ref placements. Ideally for rootbie, he wants to try and get refs in these three fields, and similarly here for Chensen, he'll want to take advantage of these three fields. Generally speaking, this can be a 2-ref field, this can be 2-ref, this can be 1-ref, and similar up here. It's nice to get 2-ref here, 2-ref here, 1-ref here. We'll see what the players decide to do. rootbie going for power plant into hand and nod, fairly standard. Similar here from Chensen. Neither of them are chancing their arm going with power plant ref first. I would say that's a wise idea. With the first ref up from both players. A couple of flamers going out. Looks like Chensen's going to slip idle scout here. Be up to rootbie to try and deny it. Looks like he's going to. Ooh, yeah, and he gets it. So as you can see here, hasn't gotten vision of any of his key structures yet. Similarly, rootbie now coming in with 2 scouts has managed to slip one by here. And as a result of that, rootbie's got great vision and is going to be able to see a Conyard cell if it happens. So we got 3 ref here. 3 ref here. Currently liking the look of Chensen's refs better, just in terms of positioning next to the tib. This one a little bit too far away from the tib. I'd suggest if you're going 2 ref, then players tend to go strip and get a ref here. Or you can go 2 ref, consider maybe an extra power plant here and get a 3rd ref here. Let's see what happens. Both players kind of stalling it now on 3 refs, so I expect strips coming up next. If we take a look at the player's vision, we can see that Chensen's managed to slip in here a little bit, but doesn't actually have vision of the Conyard, which is a little bit more valuable than denying a little bit of power. We see the forward strip coming out from Chensen and the side strip coming out from rootbie. Chensen now opting to start his crawl backwards rather than into his opponent. Top right spawn, it can be quite nice to try and crawl back to here and get the big chunk of tib field in the back. It's quite a big lot of tib. Meanwhile, bottom left spawn on this map is a bit tricky to figure out where you're going to crawl to, because going down here is a very awkward crawl unless you instantly move your MCB towards the left at the start. So if you move this over towards here, then you can set up down here. But it looks like rootbie's going to be using silos to crawl, so this way he can have his refs adjacent to the tib field, so he's not doing upwards mining. Instead, because he's adjacent, it's much better, much more efficient. So we still got 3 refs here from Chensen. Still, we are up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 refs from rootbie. There's a 4th ref coming down for Chensen, so it's 5 ref versus 4 at the moment. Chensen coming in for an attack. He might get this ref unless rootbie can push him back. It's going to be tight. Oh, and down goes the ref. That's going to set rootbie back. He's now behind on the ref count, going 4 ref to 5. Both players still on 1 strip. Chensen put a good bit of pressure here in the center. He's trying to take map control a little bit. This is good. rootbie's rebuilt his 5th ref. He'll lose a 2nd refinery here. He has managed to keep the harvester this time though, so that is useful for him. But you can see here, this tends to be what happens when you lose refineries. The Harv AI can start bugging out a little bit, and actually harm your eco more than help it. That's why it's always worth trying to hold on to your refs. We got an interesting exchange here. It's very difficult for rootbie to attack into this because units will reinforce super quick and get straight into this fight. Whereas rootbie has a little bit of extra travel time to get his units up here. He's winning though in terms of the units kill count on 38 to 28. We see a 2nd strip went down here for Chensen, then he sold his Conyard. Meanwhile, we have rootbie floating on 3 ref at the moment, still on 1 strip. It's going to be a big problem for him very shortly because Chensen's going to be able to leverage all that extra eco from the cell and absolutely overwhelm his forces. But we do see the 2nd strip has come down for rootbie and he sold his Conyard in retaliation. So both players are going to be spamming a lot of units now. It'll all come down to the better exchanges here. It's currently 55 to 43. Even having a 3 or 4 buggy lead can be huge at certain levels of this game. So we'll see how this plays out. Chensen trying to have better positioning with his buggies, but he's definitely got the numbers advantage, so we'll see how this plays out. The key element here, of course, is that rootbie doesn't necessarily know that his opponent, Chensen, has the 2 refs in the back here. So as far as he's concerned, his opponent may only have 3 refs, and he'll soon be wondering why he's managed to have such higher eco or additional units on the field. Okay, both players spam in the Buggys as you'd expect, one of the more cost-effective units from Nod. You're starting to see, however, that rootbie is running out of his eco. Because of these 3 neatly positioned refineries, you can see rootbie's top left field here starting to mine out. The one here is mined out, and the one in the top right is still starting. Rootbie opting to go in here for the harvest snipe instead is quite smart. Get the free harvester, damage his eco. It's quite clever. Chensen reacting, selling the refinery immediately. It no longer serves a purpose for him. So Chensen's starting to catch up now in terms of his exchanges. He's playing this pretty well. Getting that harv definitely did him huge favors, and he's actually outnumbered his opponent here. They both ran out of cash in terms of the MCV sell money. And we're hearing a sell. One of these strips of rootbie going off. Once you hit that 0 cash amount from your initial MCV sell, then you're not going to be able to produce out the 2 strips, so it makes sense. So yeah, at this point, Chensen's back in the game. He's going to come in here, start doing some damage. We're seeing minigunners coming out from rootbie. A few minigunners can always be very effective against mass swarms of Buggys, depending on how good the opponent's micro is. You can see here, this field's now mined out as well as this one, so rootbie's getting into a worse and worse eco situations the game moves on, whereas Chensen still has plenty of action here. Chensen's going to come on in. I think this is going to be the final push of the match. His buggy count is just way higher, and at this point he's now 30 to 40 kills above. The minigunner spam here is more than likely just going to cost them too much. Like, this amount of buggies on top of your racks, you can forget about it. It's not going to do the job, sadly. Good back and forth though. Good back and forth. You can kind of see how quickly it can snowball on you in terms of having a slight buggy lead. And then the positioning of your units and how you use them to overwhelm your opponent. And if you can try and cut off their eco as well, is always nice. Chensen's gonna take it. Pretty good game. Cool to see it from both players. rootbie going for the desperate last second light tank defense, but it's not quite gonna work out for him. Too little, too late. And that's gonna be GG's. GG's, well played, Chensen. Takes the game.